the bell.
Wow.
Not like us.
Like us.
Wow.
Baby,
Look at
over
our
here.
blowing its own horn.
BEGWrestling.com. Folks, this is going to be the greatest season of all time, right?
It's got.
Really, if you break it down,
It's got a chance.
all right, folks. Welcome back to BEG Wrestling.
Time.
We are here again, again, and again for a second try. Wayne is back, folks.
Hey!
Ring the bell.
Wow!
Set off your fireworks. This time is serious.
Please. Man's got to work. Man's got to work, Zach.
Wow. Well, let me tell you something. I hope you brought it because I got real used to talking a lot, and so
I don't know.
let me bully you around this episode. I'm just saying.
If you don't mind me saying, I'm a little nervous. I feel like this is the first time ever.
I feel it. That's why I said I'm about to bully you around. Don't let me do it.
I'm ready.
But, all right, we're going to catch you up. We're also going to talk about, folks, this is going to be the greatest season of all time, right?
It's got.
Really, if you break it down.
It's got a chance.
No, I think
it's got a chance, Zach.
Everything encompassed here with the NIL, all these new comings. David Taylor, by the way, did you see his first round matchup here at the World Championships? We're going to talk about that.
That doesn't matter.
As well.
The only thing that does for me is that assures we see the match we wanted to see. And it's going to happen. We'll get into that. But I got to say, right off, you brought up the words greatest season of all time, or potential to be the greatest season of all time. And by the way, that's going to be hard to beat because we all remember the Penn State over Ohio State a few years back. That's tough. That's tough to beat. But here is my point on why I think what you said is correct. And I am so excited. People, I am so excited for this season because of these points. First off, I think we might have a team race. I think I know everybody, we might also have a points record. And I'll get into your BEGs.com's rankings,
Updating
Kevin's
right now,
rankings.
BEGwrestling.com, folks.
Dude, Kevin's got him at like 170 and 172.
Half a point off.
I think 172.5 is the record.
Projected.
Yeah, I'll get into that. I got so much to say, I don't even know what to say first. But first off, and most importantly, I think the country needs this season. I really do, Zach. There's such the whole political season. Everyone cares, so they're passionate, and everything gets ugly so fast. And why I'm so excited about this season, and why this has stuff like other seasons didn't have. This is like a coming together moment. We all love wrestling, and that's put that away, and that's finally come together about something we're all passionate about. And I understand the passion. I understand people care and all of that. And I hate politics. I can't wait for this to be over. And thank goodness this season is coming. That's point one. Okay?
Can't argue that.
The points record I mentioned, that's a possibility. It's going to be hard, but that's a possibility. The team race, you say, whoa, Wayne.
Yeah, where
are you coming? Okay, I think 2 through 5 are just absolutely loaded. We got some duels that are going to be just dynamite, folks. But Iowa, obviously, if things go a little wrong here, a little right here, especially in the duel, right now it looks like, Penn State's 30, 40 points up. This isn't a team race. Look, I wasn't born. I was born at night, but not last night, right? But everybody uses that stupid. Everybody uses it.
You got me using it because it was so corny and so bad since growing up. I use it now still. Seriously.
I know. But anyway, I say I don't take anything for granted. And obviously,
one injury
loaded.
here. Penn State, granted, is a little deeper than most squads out here, but, still, one injury here could change things. But
yeah, we have what it equals the Dake Taylor matchup in Strachey against Kekheisen,
Mm,
in my
mm.
opinion. And the fact that one guy may be going for 5, he's got his toughest test of all. You got to give some kudos to Strachey for going up and get. By the way, can I just
Well,
bring something up about that right now
yeah.
concerning AJ? The whole AJ thing and all this, big, little spatting back and forth on social media. Can I just say, first off, I appreciate AJ. I appreciate AJ's skills. AJ may win 197. My little beef is, you're there calling out a guy that's 20 pounds less than you. But last year, what I remember was you running away from Brooks. That's what I seen. And you self-sabotaged yourself at the soldier salute because you knew, and we can't have a loss here. That messes up my whole social media personality and everything. I am the king. Look, dude, I want to see this. Why didn't AJ ever call out Brooks? Why didn't you call out Brooks? I don't hear no calling out Brooks.
Because come on,
We could do a card with AJ and Brooks because
that's the same weight, and Brooks probably ain't even busy now.
Brooks will be there.
He's just got a bronze medal in
Yes.
his back pocket. He ain't busy.
And I nothing against. It's just I'm gonna pick on this guy's 20 pounds less. Come on, man.
Well, Carter didn't do himself any justice. Seriously.
AJ, prove yourself by showing. I would have been champ last year if that whole thing with the split and the birds and all that didn't happen. I would have been champ last year. That's the avenue you should be going down, in my opinion. But that's one
storyline.
We got a lot of other dramas. We got the whole team strategies, the whole Iowa thing I want to get into more. That's a whole, Keeter. How good is this Keeter? That's going to actually a bunch of young guys we're going to see. But we got some 141 is going to be incredible. I'm telling you, Bartlett may win this. Everybody's got, by the way, Mendez, yeah, and
Kevin's talked about it before. He said he's aggressive against the bad wrestlers, and all of a sudden, against a good wrestler, he ain't so aggressive. But he talks that talk.
He talks the talk, and he says, "I just want to score a lot of points. That's what I'm all about, scoring points." All I'm saying, Mendez, is just call it for what it is. I am one of the best counter wrestlers in the world. Say the truth. The fact you're going out and scoring a whole bunch of repeat takedowns against a guy that's not ranked, that's not a guy that's scoring points. Last time I watched you and Alirez go at it, I'm still waiting on a shot by either of you. So everybody's saying, who's it going to be, Mendez or Alirez? I'm telling you, it may end up being Bartlett come through that, but all I'm saying is call yourself what you are. One of the greatest counter wrestlers in college wrestling right now is Mendez.
So that's just 141.
Yeah.
And we're talking about overall storyline. You haven't even mentioned like the brand's recruiting theory and approach.
That's
David Taylor.
That's part of my
team
strategies. I got so many notes. I'm getting my head starting to get dizzy.
Yeah. All the Penn State fans' heads are exploding right now. David Taylor.
Well, I didn't mention O'Toole against Levi. Maybe something. Last time I looked, Levi dominated and shut out one of the greatest offensive wrestlers I've ever seen. And Levi he's so good defensively. And you could say, well, we got that with Rocco Welsh. That should be a great all-star classic matchup coming up here. But here's the difference. Levi can score. And how many times have we seen him just completely sprawled out on his stomach, but he's got locked in a leg, and somehow he works himself up in. Next thing you know, that guy's in the air. I've not seen grip strength from a wrestler quite like Levi, and I'm telling you, that's going to get, obviously, O'Toole's ranked ahead of Levi. Most people would say, forget that freestyle match. O'Toole's the man to beat here at 74. I don't know. We don't even know if Levi's going yet.
Technically, we don't.
Yeah, but I hope that
soon here. Season right around the corner here.
And another point to add into this season is just the new media, not
Like
the
us?
like us.
Like us, what are you talking about?
Wow,
baby,
look
we
at
are
her
here.
blowing his own horn over here.
BEGWrestling.com. Hey, I don't know if you heard. We have now our first official breaking news. Sergio Vega out there. BEGWrestling.com out there.
Wow,
And
that was
now
big.
officially our first live stream wrestling event for the first time ever, folks. Save Campbell Wrestling.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That was
I want to talk
awesome.
about it. And
That was awesome.
I know you want to talk about it. And
Dad was so proud because here son goes driving 6 hours down there. And I got to admit, as you drive down, you had to be a little nerved up. You've never called a match before. Quite frankly, you've never streamed a match before. You're going down to do the wrestle-offs, and it turns into this amazing experience. If you guys haven't watched the stream of that, it's up on the site. I commend or I recommend you to watch it. Mostly for it was incredible wrestling, wasn't it?
it was.
But Zach, I cannot say
The
enough.
environment was incredible.
You announced with Dom Zaccone.
Yep.
Well, first off, Dom is ranked in our rankings.
Yes, he is.
And I want to talk more about our rankings, but believe me, when a person's ranked in our rankings, I believe it. You know, I absolutely believe. So we're talking one of the big dogs. He doesn't have to wrestle that day, so he joins you on mic.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, I'm not going to officially give you the trophy as the greatest broadcast of all time because I've seen Jeff Byers do something. He stood the hairs on my arms. We all love Shane Sparks. I can name others that are and have been awesome. I'm telling you, there's no way someone could convince me that was the first time you ever announced because you got me excited about these matches. A lot of them wrestlers I didn't even know.
Well, I'll say this. Dom made it very easy. Dom was a natural, and I just simply added just my energy and just kind of went off Dom. But along with Dom, Levi Hopkins on the camera did a pretty impressive job, especially considering he had about 5 to 7 seconds of training.
Oh, he
before
did
that.
excellent.
So
yeah, he did excellent.
You know,
the three of you, it was so much energy, enthusiasm, even when most of the matches were exciting, but even when things got a little boring, your commentating had me excited. I was ready to record yesterday, but I got to tell you, I was proud the fact you made the drive down as step one of the fight to save this program. And
yeah, well, and you bring up a good point because I'll say this. I am very grateful, okay, to John Christian, along with a lot of other people that actually gave us the opportunity to do that event. I went down there and had nothing but fun. And I thought we put on a great show. So I hope everyone go check it out. But here's what I actually will say. The fact is, we have done nothing yet, dude. Literally, we have done nothing yet. So we put on a great show. And I went down there, and my goal was I wanted all positiveness. I wanted to basically encompass what the culture of Campbell Wrestling. I wanted to experience it for myself, and I did experience it. And I was convinced. I was sold on what the culture of Campbell Wrestling is. Now, with that being said, I had conversations, and I gathered, okay, here's the facts are these wrestlers, these coaches, they cannot say anything, okay? They can't because they're still under, and they're hopeful this is going to work. So they don't have a voice. They can't really speak, technically. So they need someone to be their voice. That's what they need. Yeah. And we haven't actually technically done anything yet. So what we did do is encompass and showcase the culture of Campbell Wrestling. Convinced me that this is something worth fighting for. So now we're going to follow up. And, I have a question for the audience, and I'm considering starting a petition. I don't know if just a signatures petition is the way to do it, but the one thing I do know, I'm going to consider that I am absolutely going to be doing is I'm going to be emailing, Hannah Bazemore again, because I've emailed her, as I've shown everyone on the website. I've not gotten a response. I would have thought at least I would get a courtesy response. No, still haven't gotten that. I could argue about how they handle matters professionally as an organization overall. But in addition to that, I'm gonna email every single board of directors. It's public. I'm gonna show this email to everyone and make it public. And here are the facts. Okay, these are very smart people that run a university. I'm going to challenge them to a interview. I want it live. Okay, if I can't do it live, I'll do it pre-recorded with no edits.
You'll never get that. You'll
But
never
here's the
get
thing,
it.
though. They not only should I get that because they're making this decision.
You should,
I should.
but you won't.
I should get it, and they should dominate me. Seriously, these people are way smarter than me. They should take it, and they should come on, and they should dominate me. And quite frankly, I hope they do that. And that could happen. But I'm here to tell you right now, no one on that Campbell board has the guts to actually take an interview with me. Why? Because I will. They're scared of me, dude. And here's the thing: we're setting the precedence. Campbell Wrestling is the first domino, and I want to just make it be known to the whole wrestling world. Okay, if we just let Campbell fall this easy without giving up a fight, without making these people actually answer real questions, what I'm gonna make them do in an interview. And I'm not going to stop emailing you. I'm going to just continue to do it until you actually take an interview with me. I don't care if I lose it. If we don't set the precedence now, dude, then every other university has the opportunity to just do this themselves without any consequences. And BEG is going to be at your front door. So that's what I want to see.
Here's why I was so proud of your efforts to drive that far, go do something you've never done before, here's what, in my humble opinion, has to happen in this situation. All wrestling media has to bond together and just flood Campbell Wrestling. Flo, go down there. Let's get interviews. I'm begging you. Flood. And what they want to do is kill this program and keep it as quiet as possible.
Yep.
So nobody sees. That's why I say that they'll never give you that as far as an interview. The thing is, you went down and you covered them wrestle-offs, and the thing that just blew off the top of my head was not only was I so impressed with how you guys called the match, I was impressed with the wrestling. I was impressed with the whole ice-breaking thing that they were doing here. They're out in the parking lot right beside the stadium. We got camels over here. We got parades going on over here. It was groundbreaking. It was awesome. That program is a winning program, and you cannot convince me common sense makes any sense why you would want to get rid of the single most impactful thing that these young adults are learning at your college. More than anything they're learning in the classroom, what they're learning on this wrestling team. And I'm not here to put any other sports down, but more so than any other sport, wrestlers, as far as the impact that you're having on these, a positive impact, you don't get rid of something that has this big of an impact on a person's life, much less you got a winning program going on down there. And so I encourage all other podcasts, whatever, put the energy towards Campbell. And let's get the spotlight put on these people that they want to hide as they're killing this program because of probably some slimy reasons. Dollar-wise reasons, greed reasons. I don't want to get nasty in my speech here, but like just their priorities are way messed up here.
And let me tell you something. I would have been the first one to say if it wasn't a great culture. If I went down there and live stream, there was like 3 people in the audience. You think I'd be speaking up like this? No, I experienced it, and all I'm really requesting is an interview. Hannah, Miss Bazemore, or all of you board of directors are welcome.
Yeah, the board of
challenge
directors.
any and all of you to an interview with me. I will drive down there, okay? All I just want is answers to questions.
Well,
okay?
and we got a lot to cover, so we want to move on.
We'll move on.
But let me just say, somebody brought up in the comments during your live broadcast about is Hannah there? Does she see what's happening on right here? Well, my question is, has Hannah ever gone to a wrestling match? Has she spent any time close to this program to see what's happening here? And you cannot convince me that things can't be worked out. And more so, why it's important to get the media involved. This is a sampling to anyone else that's got the brilliant idea. We're going to get rid of our little wrestling program here, and we could probably do that. Nobody see. No, not in this sport, pal.
Expect BEG to be at your front door, dude,
and
because
others.
That's what's going to happen.
And others. And we're going to have the spotlight on the people making these ridiculous decisions, because we're talking about the most impactful thing on this. Go talk to any wrestler. Go talk to any guy he's a doctor over here, but he wrestled. Go talk to Jim Martin. Ask him what was one of the most impactful things. Jim Martin, the old Penn State guy, old Pennsylvania wrestler. He's now a doctor. I can name 1,000 people easily right now. But there's a great example. Go ask him what made the most impact on him. And I'm just saying, what you're doing here shows your priorities aren't on these kids. Your priorities are on maybe some greedy things over here.
Where their priorities are.
And
because that's the other thing. And you know what? I did a live stream from the hospital, and we had actually posted a link in the description to donate, which then I came to find out was just a donation to Campbell Athletics in general, which we don't even know where that money goes. So I had to remove that link, because to me, that's just going to essentially then every other sports program, not the wrestling. But.
Well, and we encourage all of you, anything you can do to get involved, whether it's send an email or whether it's to donate, or I don't know what everything gets set up right now.
Rudis.com on Monday, available at Rudis.com. Save Campbell Wrestling t-shirts. I know that money will be well invested. But
I will say this, that is a professional program over there. I commend the wrestlers. I commend the coaches. I commend anyone that's running. That was awesome. And that was yesterday. I was excited watching that wrestle off. Look at that, a spider hanging. Dang, God, what kind of dungeon? You talk about a dungeon.
That's how long you've been out for.
You talk about a daggone dungeon. Can we talk about the Iowa room a second?
No!
The daggone dungeon over there?
Oh,
by the way.
What a
oh, my goodness. By the way.
Couldn't wait to talk about this new room.
Well, you know, if you don't get taken out by going head first into the free weights while you're wrestling, I'll tell you what will take you out: the black lung from after that mold grows down in that dungeon. By the way, that at least is beautiful. You know, them cement walls are kind of beautiful. Whoa! Stand up for your daggone Iowa over there. But no, I pick one, and I joke with Terry about this all the time, about Iowa's room. But the thing that's got me a little concerned is, as it turns out, the Brands weren't born yesterday either, because they've now got this little situation going, Zach, that's concerning. And it's a hot little situation. They have everybody come together on a certain day. All these big, they got Bassett down there. They got Forrest down there. They got Ross down there, Deshaun Ross. They got Mako down there. They got others. You know, there's limousines going. There's red carpets. They probably had a daggone parade down there at Iowa City. I don't know what's going on.
Sounds pretty smart to me.
I have to wonder, is this more like a Diddy party? You know, they get them all. They get them all drugged up and give them pens. And right here, boy, right here. I don't know what's going on, but
let me tell you something. I'm looking at a picture here. Okay, it's Bo Bassett, Jax, and I'm I consider myself a body language specialist.
Whoa!
A thin slicing specialist. So here's the deal, folks. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to tell you exactly where Bo Bassett and Jax are going. Okay, look very close. Zoom in. Okay. Here's breaking news. Bo Bassett is not going to Iowa. Look at his face. Okay,
that was 1 second in time.
Okay, but here, zoom in on this. Jax Forrest is going to Iowa. Yeah, as a body language specialist. This is what I'm seeing.
Wow.
And Spencer there.
Well, there's science. If you guys don't believe in science, we've got science right here.
I mean, a specialist. You know, and even in courtroom, they have like handwriting specialists who, this is body language specialist.
I do know this. It is vitally important that Tom lands one of these big dogs. I don't know if it's the Rainey twins. I don't know if it's Ross. I don't know if it's Jax or Bo. Or Marcus maybe. I don't know. He needs to land one of these to maybe turn the tide, because we've seen what's happened with Iowa recruiting. This is all turning into, let's pay the big bucks and have you transfer over. Iowas aren't made of cash. What is it? Corn, potatoes, something over there? That's your land. I don't know what they're. It can't be that much.
Yeah,
it can't be that many.
They got
mounds
a lot of corn
cash.
out there. They got a lot of corn out there.
mounds.
They're hustling corn.
Daggone mounds of cash. Handing out these bags right and left. I mean that. It's better to get the guys coming in, and if they get a big dog, others are going to follow. So this is vitally important. And if Iowa, I don't want to give you any. You got me worried already this year, because you guys absolutely will be a factor and a threat.
Well, could you imagine if they do get these recruits and they combine this untouchable NIL signing ability then with recruiting, and then all of a sudden, seriously. I mean, they already got half the pie down. Tom Brady's winning the MVP this year, most valuable purchaser.
Yeah,
Not even close.
Although we should get a new award. Who lost the most guys? Because Iowa had a whole slew of them leave town, and that's a tricky little situation going over there. And I would love to give Terry. By the way, can I? Bust your balls a bit. Sure. We recorded last week. Where's that episode, by the way?
Yeah, well,
what?
I know.
That was the greatest episode. I can already tell this isn't as good.
I think this is pretty good.
I don't know about that. But anyway, there was no episode Tuesday.
I have it. Just we can hear everything and everyone except for you.
You're getting back at Dad, aren't you? All them times I made you rake leaves. I'll get them.
The whole purpose of the
anyway.
Episode. I know I was pumped up for that one too, but
anyway, I got it.
On that point, why don't you catch us any other Olympics you haven't even touched on?
Well, I want to I will get to that, but I got to say this. And me and Terry talked about it. I was actually hoping to have Terry on. I just want to make sure this episode works. Zach, Iowa's got a situation going on here. 4 major studs for 2 weight classes. We're talking 2 big dogs sitting on your bench. And what are the best big dogs? By the way, the word on the streets are Angelo Ferrari is the best 74, 84 pounder in the room.
Yep.
Okay. And that is why Brands wants to go down to 74. Now, apparently Brands must like his chances against Arnold and Kennedy more so than he likes his chances against Ferrari.
I find that a little surprising, but apparently that would make sense, yeah.
But, wow. First off, I'll tell you the honest truth.
Brand's kind of jamming it up, isn't he?
Brand's kind of jammed the whole works up, because you don't want an Arnold sitting on the bench.
You cannot give up a year of him.
And
can you
we know Kennedy's been very, very loyal to Iowa, and you got to respect that. And so far, Arnold has, and we've read where Arnold's parents also have been loyal to Iowa. My case is this, Zach. Okay, everything's hunky-dory right now, right? But it won't always be like that. And there's going to be times you're mad at your coach for this reason or that reason, and I'm losing a year to begin with because, say, Brands beat me out. I'm Gabe Arnold. Brands is beating me out by a point, so I can't even start. Coach made me mad this week. You have to start thinking about, okay, out of these 4 studs, 2 are going to sit. Which 2 could possibly leave? Which 2 do I suspect would leave fastest? Okay, Nelson ain't leaving. And you don't. Every indicator is Kennedy isn't going anywhere.
He's been loyal.
Gabe
Arnold.
They badly need to talk Angelo into taking a red shirt, and if they don't, It really puts things at a risky little motion thing there because a person can transfer. And there's weeks where
I mean, would you be shocked if a Ferrari transferred? I mean,
That's-
come on.
that I was heading that direction with my point. As good as Angelo must be, and could he be a threat to Kekheisen or Strachey? Whoa.
Wouldn't that be
But
something?
he's
Wouldn't it be
obviously
something if Angelo wins the title and AJ doesn't? I mean, go smack Big Bro around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Wow.
Well,
but apparently those are the reports in the Iowa room.
yeah,
Angelo is that dude.
I mean, put yourself in Angelo's shoes. Okay, let's just assume. We don't know this for fact, but let's assume that some of the things that are being said are correct. I'm beating Brands, I'm beating Arnold, I'm beating Kennedy, and he wants me to sit this year? And, from what we know,
Ferraris can't swallow that.
they don't
No
like
way.
the old sitting.
No
They
way,
don't
dude.
like the old sitting.
If he's the best in the room, you think a Ferrari is sitting as the best in the room. Get
That
outta
is a
here.
situation there where Brands has already lost some wrestlers, and with two major studs sitting, at least on the surface, you don't like guys losing a year. You don't want a Gabe Arnold losing a
Yeah,
year.
we didn't even talk about him, and he's got wrestling greatness in the bloodline. So
Yeah.
I would argue Gabe Arnold. I would transfer if I'm Gabe Arnold. I'm not giving up a year, dude.
The whole
Why?
thing, that is a little bit of a drama, Days of Our Lives thing that's going on. That we talk about one of the greatest seasons. I'm anxious
The
to see
greatest
this
season.
unfold.
Yeah.
How this unfolds. And I know Kale's got his problems and other teams have their problems. And, I look at your website, and we're going to get into that in a second. But we got some major, absolutely loaded teams. And I was not the only team that's got this problem. And Kale has got a bit of a problem himself. I noticed our rankings, we're banking on Facundo
Most people have
going
K-Zach.
down at 57. And we don't know.
Yep.
It would make the most sense because Kazak can redshirt. And it would, to try to fit these pieces in where you keep your guys happy, it's not going to be easy. And I don't know what happens. You could say very likely Penn State may end up losing a stud or two, just like maybe Iowa may lose more studs along the way.
I'm sure they both will. It's going to be the name of the game here in this new world that we're living in. Really,
Well, I don't.
we
how
just
much.
saw it with Vega.
Yeah, you know how
I mean,
much.
Vega just flip flop, dude, just like that.
Yeah, and I'm sure Kevin's just delighted.
Kevin's thrilled.
Kevin's delighted.
Every time I talk to him, he can't tell me how happy he is that Cornell
ouch.
lost Vega.
Kevin couldn't have spoke more about good about Vega. Like to him,
Like
Vega
long
was
before this transfer happened.
yeah. Vega was the next coming Vito to Kevin, and I believe what Kevin says. The way that guy, by the way, that kind of leads into I've got to take a moment right now and just praise you on this daggone website, Zach.
VEGWrestling.com.
Folks, okay. Oh, look at him over there. He's promoting his own website. No, I have nothing to do with the website. Let me tell you, Zach and Kevin are putting in some big, heavy lifting, big work. I'm out driving a truck. I absolutely love this website. I'm an average wrestling fan, and I'll tell you why people are going to love your website. Let's give you a scenario, okay? I go to Flow Wrestling. I look at this list. Okay, here's the duels coming up for Friday night. Are any of them worth seeing? I'll go out of my way to be able to see this duel. I'm not sure. I can't put in my head exactly the lineup for both of these. So, and there might be an easier place to do it. You can go to the Wrestling Stat or something. But then I go to Flow's results. Let's say it was Virginia Tech against Oklahoma State or something. Virginia Tech, where are they? Oh, finally, there's Virginia Tech. So then I almost have to write down their lineup. That's who Virginia Tech's got right now. Oklahoma State. Who's that?
By the time
like
you
it
finished,
takes
the match had already started. It might
I
be half
know.
over. I know. Not a PG wrestling,
No.
folks.
It's
Top
awesome.
10 matchups.
Yes, you have head-to-head matchups. The work Kevin's been putting in to have what we are banking on. This is
Untouched
going to be
research.
the lineups for the teams, and then to throw in the fact that you can see, well, how does this line up? How's Penn State make out against Iowa this year? Boom! I can bring it up.
Head-to-head
There's
matchup.
Penn State against. You even make the calls on who you think's
I
going to
even
win.
put odds, yeah.
The website is so user friendly, and it's so your website's going places, dude.
User friendly. I like that
I'm
word.
telling
Really, that was our goal. And first and foremost, I mean, really, we try to tailor it to the average wrestling fan. First and foremost, what to watch next in wrestling and where. That's like front center of the page. In addition to that, it's rankings, individual and team, and then the top 10 team matchups updated weekly, folks. I updated them 10 days ago from the hospital. And then finally, we have more coming soon. We got a new articles, guys, going to be contributing articles.
That's right. That's
Insider.
right. More than one.
Other insiders. Folks.
More
we
than
now
one.
have insiders who are giving us information. We're not
Yes.
going to tell you who they are.
Yeah, you got something going good here, Zach. But I got to speak on these rankings. I'm here to tell you. Now, granted, as far as rankings, Kevin's doing the load of the work. Now, me and you will chime in and we give our little inputs, but for the most part, we're talking about Kevin's hard work. And, you know, you can say whatever you want about Kevin. He's like a freaking mad scientist down in the garage.
Have you ever seen the movie A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe?
Dude,
That's
that
what his
reminds
room
me of
looks like.
Kevin as far as stats, as far as past results. Like he leaves no rock unturned. And I absolutely am convinced that BEG Wrestling rankings will eventually and quickly be known as one of the most accurate rankings. And it includes the freshmen. It includes bonus points when we're speculating on final national championship results. But I went over the rankings. He said, hey, Wayne, and you probably did the same thing. Look these over real close. Give me who you think. I had a hard time disagreeing with anything I seen. And there was a couple I thought, well, maybe you could move that up. But I could see why he didn't have that guy moved up. Like,
It was so detailed.
Yes.
There was a weight class at the 24 spot. Kevin had 4 people. I had to cut it down to 1. At the 24 spot.
Well,
I was like, dude.
and he could make a case why all 4 of
Yeah.
them were there.
I know.
You
That's
know,
what I mean.
I
It's
tell you,
like,
the website, the convenience of the websites, the functions of the websites, to be able to see who's on teams, to see what matchups are going to look like, to see schedules, to see upcoming events, to see the rankings, all of it. Absolutely love it. And I tell you, it got me excited. Me and you started out as dad and son. Let's go down the garage, boy. Let's record this stupid thing over here. And next thing I know is you took
Hey.
you took the ball and ran.
now we got a website, baby.
Hey,
Yeah.
go on, boy. You're driving down to China to broadcast. You had to be nervous for that, by the way.
No, I was not nervous.
Zach, do this for me. I don't care what. Littlestown Wrestling, Bermuda against
We're gonna get
Bermudian.
more folks. In fact, if you're watching this right
Gettysburg.
now and you have a wrestling match,
I want to call a match with you.
we'll live stream it for free. We'll commentate it for free.
I
You
wanna
saw-
call a
Go
match
look at
with
the
you.
product, Campbell
Oh
Wrestling.
my goodness, that
We're
looks
gonna do
so
it.
fun. And Dom was awesome. Somehow you got to lock
Dom
that
was
boy
awesome.
down.
In fact,
You got to
you
lock
actually,
that boy down.
You got a lot to live up to if you ever. Want to come
I
on
know,
with
I
me.
know.
I mean,
You
Dom
ain't no
just
doubt.
came on out of nowhere, and I thought, "Who is this man? Come to fight, does his own live streams.
I know.
He knows what he's doing. Not to mention he's in our rankings."
Well, look, it's been a long time since I've been on. I haven't even been on since the Olympics. I want to say something about the Olympics if you don't
Yeah.
care. Look, folks, that was a little disappointing. I know we were hoping for a couple golds and all. I just want to say, I mean, that was a punch to the gut not to see the final dot on top of the I of Spencer making this grand comeback.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, did he win my respect on he was awesome. And so was the Japan guy that beat him. No doubt. I'm not taking any credit away. That match could go 5-5 if they wrestled 10 times. I am hoping Spencer, we're not done with Spencer. We
He's
get
not
him back
done.
for another
He's
4
in the
years.
room with Bassett and Jax just yesterday.
Yes, that's true. But I got to say this is the thing that just really left an impact on me. And we always talk about the GOAT. Now, is it Smith? Is it Burroughs? Let's talk about who right now is America's #1 wrestler. I'm telling you who I absolutely think it is. It's one Aaron Brooks. And I don't think we'll see him lose for years, in my
Really?
opinion. Because that was a heartbreaking loss he had. He came back, he got to bronze, and that guy went on to get gold. That guy won't beat Brooks again. Oh, I'm sounding like a Penn State fan over here, but I am that impressed with Brooks. I would please. I'm putting a challenge out there back to you, AJ. Entertain us. Are you not entertained? Let's have a card. Let's just have it at the beginning. Put something together. Flo, step in. I want to see AJ Ferrari against Aaron Brooks. You ran last year, AJ.
You really want
No
that
more.
matchup? I mean,
I
would love
want
to
that
see it.
matchup. Yeah, and but.
We won't. AJ's a little busy, dude. He's filming Day in the Life. You seen this Day in the Life, man?
no.
He's working hard. He ain't got no time.
Day in the life.
It's 7 hours in study hall, dude. Come on.
Anyway,
You seen how long he's in there? He had to get a new login.
the whole thing is, we had so much has happened since I've been on. Our U20 team was awesome at the World Championship. Our latest, the U23, we were hoping.
Mess and Brink goes down.
Let me say something about Mess and Brink.
Yeah. What
Okay.
happened there?
Well, I'm sure if you went and asked him, he would say, well, I didn't wrestle my best. But you listen to his interview afterward, that boy's head is on straight. And as a Penn State fan, as a Mess and Brink fan, I kind of like that he lost there, because
I actually agree with that. I was going to give you
that just keeps that hunger there, and I like it,
And along with that, dude, he was getting a little he needed to be heat checked.
I mean,
you know what I mean, right?
As far as our rankings, we got Hodge rankings. Don't you guys?
Yeah,
have
he
him?
needed to be heat checked.
You have
Someone
him
needed to
as
heat
the
check him.
#1 as far as possible Hodge this year.
I know.
I'm telling you, that loss won't hurt. And
I
the thing
very
with
much agree with that.
Mess and Brink is his wide open style. It kind of reminds me of like a Nolf and stuff. He's going to give up points from time to time.
Oh yeah.
However, in that match he lost, and other matches too. Yeah, it's like, okay, he needs to tighten up his neutral defense a little bit. You don't want a guy to be able to get in that deep, that easy. Now, he was wrestling one of the world's best when he lost that 11-8. And by the way, he gave up a point for a hands to a face, and he got ripped of a takedown. By the way, Mr. Japan, and Kevin could give me the exact name on that. I don't care about your name, because that little stunt you did, crying on the, my knee, and next thing I know,
You're saying that was Fugazi.
well, that robbed a Mess and Brink of 2 points.
I'm also saying that was Fugazi.
Yes, and back
Unreal.
to the freestyle injury fraud tactics. Thank goodness, folk style, you had to pay a price, and that's a shame. He got legitimately hurt. Okay, that is a shame, but that's our rules. The other guy gets choice, and that's the way we play this game. All I'm saying, freestyle people, please, because it wasn't even just that match. I've seen it in other matches too, where people are just playing this game, to get a breather, or they're about to get scored on and they're screaming like one of the elementary kids used to when they were going to their back. And you hear some screaming out, and then the mom would chime in too. They probably had the mom trained too. Oh, my baby! Oh, my baby! Because the baby's getting put to his back, and
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe they're leaving it open to manipulation, kind of like politics, right? It's kind of like voting. More just vague you leave it, the more open to manipulation. But I got to ask you about someone else because it's been a while, and I'm going back to the Super 32 because there was someone that I had a big takeaway that it was the first time I've watched him, and I'm talking about Asher Cunningham.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
and maybe anyone else from the Super 32 that you want to talk about, but
yes.
first time ever I've watched Asher Cunningham, and let me tell you something. I absolutely love his style.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what? Cody's son, right?
Or Casey's.
Casey's son.
Yes, Casey's son. And here's the thing is there's undeniable, this kid has jumped levels from like a year ago. And he definitely took a step up. And I mean, he goes out, he wins Super 32. And
his style is what I like.
yes.
His
yes,
swagger.
Yes. And you hope somehow can fit in that lineup just by his style. Because I love, as much as I can appreciate a Rocco Welsh wrestling, he's one of the best in the nation. It kind of bores me.
Yeah, it's very boring. Asher Cunningham, fireworks, dude, and he's
You don't know
quickly.
what's going to happen. I can't say enough. Of course, that Bassett Zapata match, that's as good as it gets.
That
was all of us wrestling lovers coming together, appreciating. This is art.
Kyle said it might have been
right
the
here.
greatest single high school match he's ever watched. Outside of my brother, your son, a couple matches there. There's none I can argue.
Well, that was and that's a hard thing to say there. You know, it's hard to say this is the greatest season of all time, to call the greatest match of all time. That's really, really hard to do because we've all can recall matches that were just ground shaking, you know. But I am 100% with you about Asher and his prospects of coming up. That's exciting. But
while we're on high schoolers, have you noticed Bo Bassett hasn't given any updates lately? Any thoughts on that? He's getting what is it?
I don't know, but
or nervous or what's going on?
I don't know, but you mentioned something. You got to.
Yeah, I really only asked you that so I could bring up my son.
We didn't even talk about Junior
Joseph
yet.
Wayne, baby.
How about
Hey, you're talking about Bo Bassett giving a countdown? No cold feet over here. Joe Wayne. We're breaking it down, folks. I got a lot of research here. 16 years.
What are you gonna do?
Remove one school a year. That's right.
So you're gonna
selected
follow Bo's pattern here.
Yeah.
But you're gonna do one per year.
This is a slightly longer term version.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. We're confident, Tom. You're on the list. And I hope you stay on the list, but also on that list, folks, I got to run down the list here real quick. Okay. Tell me if you disagree with any of these. Penn, Corey went there, my brother.
Yeah.
Add respect. Pitt, we're from PA.
That's right.
Iowa, obviously.
Obviously.
Maryland local. Maryland's pretty good. Maryland's up and coming.
That's
Stanford.
true.
Now, Stanford, only if he has his mom's brain. Because I don't think my brain's getting into Stanford. Okay?
True.
Okay.
True.
But he could. 50-50.
That's
Michigan. I like Fournette. I really like Fournette. You remember
yeah.
that interview
I'm
with
a big Fournette
okay?
fan now too.
Okay. Now Iowa State.
Wow.
It's like
Dresser.
It's like if we can't get into Iowa, but we were close. Oh, just kidding, Iowa State. Also on the list. How about,
Why don't you have Iowa State laid down and you could just pee all over them?
No, they're on the list.
Oh my!
I mean, seriously, things could change in 16 years. Iowa State. In addition to that, Oregon State because they're the Beavers. Obviously.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, along with that, maybe unexpected Gettysburg College. That's where we're from. Gettysburg.
Okay.
Represent Gettysburg. Gettysburg, let us live stream some of your wrestling.
If he's a little more fishy, he would go to Gettysburg College or.
Gettysburg College, what?
Yeah, if he's a little more fishy.
Fishy?
You know, some
not
guys
good?
on the mat, they're just flopping around. We don't know.
Hey, we'll talk about fish.
Well,
okay,
no offense, Gettysburg College. They got great wrestling.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I just put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. We might have to make an early elimination now, dude. And that's where you live, of all places.
I know.
Unreal.
Yeah,
in addition, obviously, Penn State. Don't get worried. Penn State fans, calm down.
All right.
You're on the list.
Okay.
You're on the list, Penn State. Along
Make
with that,
Daddy
Oregon
proud.
State or Oklahoma State David Taylor, who knows how much the offer could be in 16 years. Seriously, I might be able to retire if I got
Better
this
start
kid.
getting that boy to do some
The
push-ups.
money David Taylor's throwing around, along with that Little Rock.
I like Little
love
Rock.
Little Rock.
I like
Another
Little Rock.
PA school.
Yes.
Along with that Lehigh, another PA school.
I like
You know,
Lehigh.
we're representing that.
No Lock Haven? Dang, gone.
Wow, Lock Haven did not make the list. That is surprising.
Wow.
You know, they didn't make the cut.
Okay,
but
keep going.
Too late, but Cornell there again.
Oh, you better.
Has to have mom's brains.
Kevin will have your hide.
50-50, and not only will Kevin have my hide, but yeah, it's a limited opportunity because it has to have mom's brain with that. Ohio State. Remember how big of an Ohio State fan I was? I
Big
painted
time.
an O
Big
on my room
time.
growing up
Yes,
in our house.
yes.
So really, I kind of grew up an Ohio State fan. Their football team growing up, and then finally, folks, Virginia Tech Hokies.
Wow.
Out of respect for Corey, a big Hokie fan.
Wow.
I have no idea why. He
Wow.
has no idea why, but Corey, our brother, big Hokie fan. So there's the list, folks. So start the clock.
I'm going to give you an example why this should end up being Penn State. You want a great example?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, I was watching this podcast and Quentin Wright was on there and he told this little story. It was back from 2011. You remember the old Jerry Sandusky and the ugliness behind that whole thing. Well, his trial was going on and he was being convicted and all that stuff. And Kale noticed the entire team looked stressed. Bummed out, whatever word you want to put there. Obviously, you don't want this kind of crap going on at your college. I'm trying to have pride for my college. All this is going on. And he noticed this going on, and they came to practice, and he shocked everybody. He gave everybody gum. I'm sure they were concerned about weight, or he would have had popcorn, bubble gum. And he made them sit and watch The Lion King. And that was the official practice. He says, look, they're looking psychologically. What do I need to do to what?
This
They're
sounds like
playing
some-
chess. They're not over there playing checkers.
Okay. Maybe. It's borderline some real funky dunky stuff like like some natural healer stuff or something. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Sometimes you just have
Here.
to turn the world off. Turn on Lion King.
chew this bubble gum and your brain will go a little funky and we're going to sit around and watch the Lion King. Whoa!
Please. Yeah, you asked little Junior.
I
I
don't
think
know.
Junior would like this kind of
I don't know.
thinking.
I'm going to go watch the Lion King now. What is the moral of that story? But I will say maybe the moral of the World Championship story is it a karma for David Taylor? Sagilov round one. You got to pee. I can see it. You got to pee real bad, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you moving, jittering around.
I drank
ready
it.
to wrap this up.
I got to ask you something. Okay. Your hidden gem of the year. We're promoting this season as this might be a very exciting season. Is there a name that sticks out to you as this guy is going to shock people? And you almost can't give like a Luke Lillendahl. We all know he's good.
Well, no.
In fact, we have him ranked first.
I think it's a no-brainer, dude. And I think it will become very obvious very quickly. Josh Barr. And I hate to say it, because I'm not a Penn State guy.
Yeah.
But no one knows Josh Barr.
Yes.
I know Josh Barr from talking to people in the past. I think Josh Barr could actually potentially be a title contender. And I hate to say that.
No, that's not crazy. And yes, I do have to pee, but mine's Ty Wallen. All I remember is last year, what was it, the Midlands or something? I mean, he went through Ty Walters, he went through Parco, he went through, there was another name or two, big dogs. He kind of tore him up. Remember, he redshirted last year, and
Yeah. He recently bumped up, and
can we say goodbye?
You gotta go, folks! Wow, he's out of here! We will be back again weekly from now forward. We're in the meat. And we tried last week, but folks, until next week, this is BEG Wrestling. Like and subscribe. And hey, if you have an event that you would like us to live stream and commentate, we would be more than happy to. So thank you, everyone. And until next week, we'll be back.